Imagine being born with extra limbs, living with your heart outside your chest, surviving rabies after symptoms appeared, or carrying two different sets of DNA without knowing it. These aren't scenes from a movie, they're real medical cases that left even the world's best doctors searching for answers. From groundbreaking surgeries to conditions so rare they've rewritten medical textbooks, here are 15 medical cases that left doctors speechless. Some survived against impossible odds, while others changed medicine forever. Number 15, Lakshmi Tatma, the girl once worshipped as a goddess. Some children are born into ordinary lives. Lakshmi Tatma entered the world surrounded by fear, devotion, and disbelief. She was born on 31 December 2005 in Araria district, Bihar, India, with an exceptionally rare condition caused by an incomplete parasitic twin. Extra legs and additional limbs attached to her body led many villagers to believe she was the earthly form of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi rather than an ordinary child. While crowds gathered to pray and leave offerings, doctors saw a dangerous medical condition that threatened her future. As she grew, walking became almost impossible, and the weight of the attached limbs placed increasing strain on her body. A complex operation involving dozens of surgeons lasted more than a full day, carefully separating the extra limbs and reconstructing her body. The surgery attracted worldwide attention because cases like hers are rarely seen. After months of recovery and rehabilitation, Lakshmi gradually learned to stand, walk, and experience a childhood that once seemed beyond reach. Her story remains one of modern medicine's most extraordinary transformations, where a child once treated as a miracle became living proof of what skilled surgeons and determination can achieve. Number 14, Dominique Lenoys, the woman who waited for two hearts. Doctors knew the operation ahead would push modern medicine to its limits, and every passing hour made the risk even greater. Dominique Lenoys was born in the Caribbean nation of Haiti and spent much of her life battling a rare inherited condition known as familial amyloidosis, a disease that gradually damaged multiple organs. By the time she reached adulthood, both her heart and liver were failing, leaving her with little chance of survival without an extraordinary medical breakthrough. Specialists eventually concluded that replacing only one organ would not be enough. She would need a heart and a liver from the same donor, a combination so uncommon that many patients never received the opportunity. After an agonizing wait, surgeons carried out the highly complex double transplant, replacing both failing organs during the same surgical effort. The operation demanded extraordinary precision and months of careful recovery afterward. Dominique's survival drew international attention because cases requiring two life-saving organ transplants at once remain exceptionally rare. Her journey became a remarkable example of how persistence, medical innovation, and perfect timing can come together to save a life that once seemed impossible to rescue. Number 13, Juliana Wetmore, the girl who was born without most of her face. The delivery room fell silent because nobody had ever expected to see a newborn like her. Juliana Wetmore was born on 7 November 2003 in Jacksonville, Florida, United States, with an extremely rare condition called Treacher-Collins syndrome. The disorder affected the development of her facial bones so severely that she was born without most of the facial structure people normally take for granted. Breathing, eating, hearing, and even protecting her eyes became immediate medical challenges, requiring doctors to perform numerous operations from an early age. Throughout childhood, she underwent a long series of reconstructive surgeries designed to improve both her appearance and essential body functions. Hospital visits became a regular part of life. Yet her family remained determined to give her the same opportunities as any other child. As photographs and documentaries introduced her story to the world, many people were struck not only by her appearance, but by the confidence and warmth she showed despite years of painful treatment. Juliana's journey continues to inspire doctors and families alike, proving that resilience can shine even when life begins with challenges that seem almost beyond imagination. Number 12, Mandy Horvath, the woman who climbed mountains without legs. The accident should have marked the end of every dream she had, yet it became the beginning of a life few people would ever believe possible. Mandy Horvath was born in the United States and grew up with a love for adventure and the outdoors. In her early 20s, a devastating train accident claimed both of her legs, leaving doctors focused first on keeping her alive and then helping her adjust to a completely different future. The physical pain was overwhelming, but the emotional battle proved even harder. Refusing to let tragedy define her, Mandy slowly rebuilt her strength and learned to navigate life in ways she had never imagined. What happened next stunned even experienced climbers. Using determination, upper body strength, and specialized equipment, she began scaling mountains that challenge even able-bodied athletes. Her achievements eventually included reaching the summit of some of America's most demanding peaks, turning her into one of the world's most remarkable adaptive climbers. Doctors once questioned how much independence she would regain. Instead, Mandy accomplished feats that few people, regardless of physical ability, will ever experience, proving that the human spirit can sometimes push far beyond the limits the body appears to set. Number 11, Zion Harvey, the boy who received 2 new hands. A child who had already survived the impossible was about to make medical history once again. Zion Harvey was born in Baltimore, Maryland, United States in 2007. At just 2 years old, a severe bloodstream infection spread rapidly through his body, forcing surgeons to amputate both of his hands and feet to save his life. The illness also damaged his kidneys, leading to a successful kidney transplant from his mother. Years later, after careful evaluation, doctors believed he might become one of the youngest people ever to receive a double-hand transplant. In 2015, a team of specialists performed the groundbreaking operation, connecting bones, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and tendons during a procedure that lasted more than 10 hours. Recovery demanded extraordinary patience, as Zion spent years teaching his brain how to control hands it had never used before. Every movement, from picking up a toy to writing his name, required relentless practice. His progress amazed medical experts around the world and became one of the most inspiring examples of modern transplant surgery, showing what determination and medical science can achieve together. Number 10, Juan Pedro Franco, the man who fought back against the weight that nearly killed him every breath, had become a struggle, and even getting out of bed seemed beyond reach. Juan Pedro Franco was born on 1 August 1984 in Aguascalientes, Mexico. A serious childhood accident left him bedridden for long periods, and over the years his weight increased to extraordinary levels. By adulthood, he had become one of the heaviest people ever medically documented, weighing more than half a ton. His condition brought diabetes, dangerously high blood pressure, and severe breathing problems that placed his life in constant danger. Moving even a short distance became almost impossible without assistance. Doctors knew that ordinary treatment would not be enough, so a team of specialists spent months preparing him for one of the most challenging bariatric surgeries ever attempted. The operation marked only the beginning of an exhausting journey. Through multiple procedures, strict rehabilitation, and remarkable determination, Juan Pedro gradually lost hundreds of kilograms and reclaimed parts of the life he feared were gone forever. His recovery became a powerful example of how modern medicine and unwavering commitment can change the course of even the most extreme medical cases. Number 9, Katie Stubblefield, the woman who received a new face. One single moment changed her life so completely that even experienced surgeons questioned whether recovery was possible. Katie Stubblefield was born on 26 March 1998 in Lakeland, Florida, United States. At the age of 18, she survived a devastating gunshot injury that destroyed much of her face, leaving her unable to breathe, speak, or eat normally. Emergency teams worked tirelessly to keep her alive while specialists searched for a solution few hospitals in the world could offer. After months of treatment, doctors determined that a full face transplant represented her best chance of rebuilding essential functions. In 2017, a multidisciplinary surgical team carried out one of the most extensive face transplants ever performed on such a young patient. The procedure lasted more than 30 hours and required reconnecting countless blood vessels, nerves, muscles, and bones with extraordinary precision. Recovery demanded years of rehabilitation as Katie gradually learned to smile, blink, swallow, and speak again. Her journey became an international medical milestone, demonstrating not only the remarkable progress of reconstructive surgery, but also the resilience required to rebuild a life after unimaginable trauma. Number 8. Richard Lee Norris, the man who received a second chance at life for more than a decade. He hid his face from almost everyone, convinced the world would never see him the same way again. Richard Lee Norris was born in the United States in 1975. In 1997, a catastrophic firearm accident caused devastating injuries that destroyed much of his jaw, nose, lips, and facial structure. Over the following years, he underwent numerous reconstructive procedures, yet even after repeated operations, basic activities such as speaking, eating, and breathing remained incredibly difficult. Surgeons eventually concluded that conventional treatment had reached its limits. In 2012, doctors at the University of Maryland performed one of the world's most comprehensive face transplant operations, replacing most of his facial tissue during a surgery lasting more than a full day. The complexity of reconnecting nerves, muscles, blood vessels, and bone made the operation one of the most challenging ever attempted. Months of rehabilitation followed before movement and sensation slowly returned. Richard's recovery amazed specialists because it demonstrated how far transplant medicine had progressed, offering hope to patients whose injuries were once considered impossible to repair. Number 7. Karen Wetterhahn, the scientist who was killed by a single drop. She spent her career studying dangerous chemicals, yet the greatest threat arrived in a form no one believed could penetrate ordinary laboratory protection. Karen Wetterhahn was born on 16 October 1948 in Plattsburgh, New York, United States. As a respected chemistry professor, she dedicated years to researching the effects of toxic metals on human health. In 1996, while conducting routine laboratory work, a tiny drop of dimethyl mercury accidentally came into contact with her protective gloves. The exposure seemed insignificant, and no immediate symptoms appeared. Months later, however, she began experiencing balance problems, slurred speech, and memory loss. Doctors eventually discovered that the highly toxic chemical had entered her body despite the safety equipment she had been wearing. By then, irreversible damage had already spread throughout her nervous system. Karen Wetterhahn died on 8 June 1997 in Hanover, New Hampshire, United States. Her tragic case transformed laboratory safety standards around the world, leading research institutions to rewrite handling procedures for some of the most dangerous chemicals ever studied. Even today, her story remains one of the most influential medical and scientific safety lessons in modern history. Number 6. Brianna Bodley, the woman who lived with her heart outside her chest. Doctors rarely expect a baby born with this condition to survive beyond the first days of life. Yet Brianna Bodley continued proving those expectations wrong. She was born in the United States with ectopia cordis, an extraordinarily rare congenital disorder in which the heart develops partially outside the chest because the rib cage does not fully close before birth. The condition occurs in only a tiny number of pregnancies and is usually fatal. From infancy, Brianna endured repeated surgeries, constant medical supervision, and years of uncertainty as specialists worked to protect one of the body's most vital organs. Simple activities that most people never think about require extraordinary caution, and every stage of childhood brings new medical challenges. Despite those obstacles, she refused to let hospital walls define her life. As her story reached television programs and news outlets, People were amazed not only by the rarity of her condition, but also by the determination with which she embraced everyday life. Her journey remains one of the clearest examples of how modern medicine, family support, and remarkable resilience can help someone survive a condition that many doctors encounter only once in an entire career. Number 5, Trisha Zorn, the swimmer who never needed sight to make history. The finish line was invisible to her, but she reached it before almost everyone else. Trisha Zorn was born on 1 June 1964 in Orange, California, United States, with aniridia, a rare genetic condition that left her almost completely blind from birth. Many people assumed severe vision loss would place strict limits on her future, yet water became the place where those limits disappeared. She devoted herself to competitive swimming, relying on rhythm, muscle memory, and years of disciplined training instead of eyesight. Every race demanded absolute trust in technique because she could not see the wall approaching at the end of the pool. That challenge never stopped her. Over an extraordinary career, she won more Paralympic medals than any athlete in history, earning dozens of gold medals and setting records that stood for years. Her achievements transformed public perceptions of blindness in elite sport and inspired countless young athletes around the world. Trisha's story reminds us that some of the greatest champions are defined not by the obstacles they face, but by the standards they refuse to lower. Number 4, Caitlin Stickles, the model who redefined beauty. One photograph changed her life because people had never seen a face quite like hers. Caitlin Stickles was born in the United States with Schmid-Fracaro syndrome, also known as cat eye syndrome, an exceptionally rare chromosomal condition affecting only a small number of people worldwide. The syndrome influenced the development of her facial features, particularly her eyes, giving her an appearance unlike conventional beauty standards. Growing up, she often faced curious stares and harsh judgment from strangers who noticed her differences before seeing the person behind them. Rather than hiding from public attention, Caitlin gradually embraced what made her unique. Her striking appearance eventually caught the attention of photographers and fashion editors searching for faces that challenged traditional ideas of beauty. International magazines and creative campaigns introduced her to audiences around the world, where many admired the confidence she brought to every photograph. Instead of allowing a rare genetic condition to define her limits, she transformed it into the very quality that made her unforgettable, proving that individuality can leave a stronger impression than perfection ever could. Number 3, Jeanna Giese, the girl who survived the world's deadliest virus. By the time doctors confirmed the diagnosis, they quietly prepared her family for the worst, because almost nobody had ever survived what she was facing. Jeanna Giese was born on 24 August 1989 in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, United States. At the age of 15, she was bitten by a bat while attending church, and because the wound appeared minor, she never received a rabies vaccination. Weeks later, she developed fever, confusion, and frightening neurological symptoms that signaled the virus had already reached her brain. Rabies has long been considered almost universally fatal once symptoms appear, leaving doctors with virtually no proven treatment. Rather than surrendering to the inevitable, a medical team attempted an experimental procedure later known as the Milwaukee Protocol, placing Jeanna into a medically induced coma while her immune system fought the infection. Against overwhelming odds, she recovered and became the first known person to survive symptomatic rabies without prior vaccination. Her extraordinary case reshaped infectious disease research and offered hope in a field where survival had once seemed impossible. Number 2, Taylor Muhl, the woman who was born with 2 different DNA profiles. The line running across her body looked like an ordinary birthmark, but it concealed one of the rarest biological mysteries ever discovered. Taylor Muhl was born in the United States on 29 October 1983 with an extraordinarily uncommon condition called tetragametic chimerism. Before birth, 2 developing embryos merged into one body, leaving her with 2 separate sets of DNA instead of one. For years, nobody understood why she experienced unusual health problems, or why one side of her body looked noticeably different from the other. As medical specialists investigated further, they discovered that parts of her body carried completely different genetic identities. The diagnosis stunned both doctors and researchers because only a small number of confirmed cases exist worldwide. Taylor later shared her story publicly to raise awareness of a condition that many physicians never encountered during their careers. Her remarkable biology challenged long-standing assumptions about genetics, identity, and human development, reminding the medical community that the human body can still produce mysteries beyond current scientific expectations. Number 1. Baby Faith Hope Williams, the baby born with her heart outside her chest when doctors first examined the newborn. They immediately realized they were facing one of the rarest birth conditions ever recorded. Faith Hope Williams was born in London, England, with ectopia cordis, an extraordinary disorder in which her heart developed outside her chest because the breastbone failed to form normally before birth. The condition is exceptionally rare, and very few babies survive long enough to receive treatment. Within hours of her birth, specialist surgeons began a series of complex operations to protect her exposed heart and reconstruct her chest. Every procedure carried enormous risks, and months of intensive care followed as doctors carefully monitored her recovery. Against overwhelming odds, Faith survived surgeries that once would have been considered impossible. Her remarkable case attracted worldwide attention because it demonstrated how advances in pediatric surgery and critical care can save children born with conditions once thought untreatable. Her journey remains one of modern medicine's most extraordinary survival stories. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable true stories. And we'll see you in the next video.